Hello, everyone. So I'm Tanya Walia. Welcome to the course where you learn more about Python. So first, before we starting into the course, let me introduce myself. So I'm working as a data scientist, having experience of 2+ years working in MNCs. I worked in two MNCs from the past 2 years, and moreover, I have an experience of 3+ years in teaching data science from scratch to international students who are doing pretty well in their lives, and I'm very happy for them. So, my ultimate goal is to spread awareness and knowledge, tools and technologies, and the ideas and the visualizations all around the world regarding the data science. So, now without any further delays, let's get a deep dive into the course. I believe you are very interested in learning Python. So, why don't we start learning it very quickly? So let me share my screen and tell you what Python exactly is all about. So Python is an object-oriented programming language. That means it is a programming paradigm based on concepts, which can contain data as well as the code, where the data is in the form of fields and the code is in the form of procedures. When you combine both of them, it forms the code and the procedures. When you combine it, it forms an object-oriented programming language, which is based on the concept of objects. Secondly, Python is an interpreted language. So what do you mean by an interpreted language? It is a programming language which is generally interpreted. So without compiling a program, we run the code. That means if you learned about any of the programming languages, that is C, C++, or Java, all of them are compiling languages. So what do you mean by them? Think that there is this much long code and you have to run it as a whole. So what it will do is it will run the code line by line, and wherever there is an error, it will throw an error. That means the time complexity is very low in that case, because we are getting error without further running the whole program. We are getting the error where the line is there present, where the error exists. So that means the time complexity becomes very low where the interpreted language comes into the picture. And what happens in C? If this much long is the code, it will run the code as a whole. That means it will not throw an error where the error exactly exists. It will run the code first. After that, it will throw the error. Correct? Then after that, Python supports dynamic data type, where the interpreted language comes into the picture as well as combined with the object-oriented programming. You do not have to specify or initialize the data type of a variable. That means if I'm writing a is equal to 1, that means it is an integer. It will interpret it itself. That means a is an integer. You do not have to write int a is equal to 1. All right. So it supports dynamic data type. Fourth and the foremost thing is it is independent of all platforms. That means as it is open source, it is independent from all the platforms. Then it is focused on the development time. As I told you that you get an error where the error exists exactly without further running the whole code, right? So it is independent from all the platforms. It is focused on the development time. If you do not have any experience in computer science or you have not learned any of the programming languages, it is very simple to learn Python because it has an easy grammar. And it do not have any particular syntaxes where you have to learn the syntaxes and then apply it on the whole code. All right. Then the second last thing is it is high level internal object data type. If I have a number of 20 digits, if I have a number of 20 digits long number, I can use it in my code as well. That means it has high level internal object data type, right? Then it is open source. It is free. That means you can learn Python from any sources and you can run it in any of the platforms. You can run it in Google Colab. You can run it in Anaconda, or there are many other platforms where you can run a Python code, right? I think it's become quite interesting for you all, right? So what do you think? Should we start learning Python? Python ourselves, or Python with someone who knows Python exactly what it is, and then learn from a particular data scientist, which is, I think it's become quite interesting for you all to learn Python, what it is all about. I think you're very interested. So let's learn Python together, and I'll tell you what exactly it is all about. We'll create many projects, assignments will be given to you, and we'll give a deep dive into the course to you. All right. So let's get joined together. I'll be waiting for you all in the course. Thank you.